Hi there. So, um, I want to talk about memory. It's approaching November the 2nd. It's my birthday. I'm turning another year older, and around this time, I like to remember. I like to remember life, the way things used to be, and reflect on reflect on the way things are now. And so, I want to talk a little bit about memory. And why is it that some people, as they get older, they tend to forget the past? I think what happens sometimes, and we're living in a time which demonstrates that when people go through trauma, whether it's the trauma of a broken relationship, the breakdown of a family, usually sometimes the trauma is caused by sin. It's caused by our own choices and our own willing to go our own way rather than choosing the way of righteousness and choosing the way of peace and choosing the way of love and kindness and compassion and respect. And so when we choose to forget God and to go our own way, we tend to forget the people that we used to be. Um, I'm Catholic. I'm a Christian. I like to participate in the Mass, and part of the Mass is really a remembrance. It's a celebration, and it's a remembrance of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross for us. And so, but that's not specifically what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about in general. But I want to relate that experience of remembering to my faith too, because a lot of the times we can life changes as people make choices, whether those choices are good or whether those choices are bad. Um, we still need to remember our past. I know there's a saying that says if you forget the past, you're doomed to repeat it. And so we look at world events and things that are going on in the world right now, and I think it's a result of people just forgetting how to live in a way that pleases God. Um, right, not everything is about God. We have to live our lives and we have to participate in the society, play our roles, so to speak. But in the process, we need to remember our Creator and remember that uh, we didn't place ourselves here. We were given this life. Um, and so the more we can remember about the way things used to be is important because uh, each individual soul has an infinite amount of value to God, and my soul is just as valuable as your soul, and we're called to live on this earth to love one another. And part of loving uh, the human family is remembering our history, and so I think the more that society and certain people want to cancel out certain parts of the past. And so what that makes me think of is it makes me think, as a Christian, I believe there's going to be a judgment day, and so at that point, history itself will be completely manifested and revealed to everybody. And so I think in the book of Romans, it talks about those who suppress the truth. And I think that comes when people choose to sin rather than choosing to embrace love and life. And so, how can we, as a society, as we're getting older, right? My birthday's coming up November the 2nd, so looking forward to that. But how do we remember the past? And so I just tie it back into my faith as a Christian, as a Catholic. Remember during the sacrifice of the Mass, we remember, the Catholic Church is deep in tradition, and so we don't forget the past. And I know there's other religions too who have that uh, have that in their religion, that they remember the past as well too. And so um, I was listening to a Bible teacher the other day talking about, well, can someone asked him the question, can the world get any worse? And he was basically saying, well, the way the world is now with so much sin, that it's what the Bible is predicting the world is going to be like. until before Christ comes back. And so in that sense, I'm just making this video to communicate my feelings around this time of the year. You know, there's Christmas is coming up, Halloween. I don't celebrate Halloween. I may observe it and hand out some chocolates and stuff, but I don't celebrate it. I celebrate things that help my faith, and so what I'm talking about now, like remembering things, memory. I think it's so important that your memory, you remember things and not block things out. Like I said, and part of that happens is because people go through trauma. Sin is a trauma. Sin is a huge trauma. When we commit mortal sin, when we do sins that force us to forget our past because we don't want to deal with certain things that maybe at one time we were happier. And if we remember those times, we're going to remember God. Anyways, just some thoughts to think about. I don't want to drag this video on too much longer, but the reason why I'm making it is because it's also good mental health to have a good memory and to remember the things in the past. The world is not bad. The world is not evil. I believe the world is intrinsically good, and I believe that in my faith, the Bible teaches that this world is actually going to be redeemed in the end. That Christ has not just died for the payment for our sins, but he died to redeem the world. So this world is going to be redeemed. It's going to go on forever. The only thing that won't continue is sin. And so it's our choice now to participate in that salvation plan, which is not fully implemented. It's not fully realized now, but it will be realized. It's in the future. Christ can come back any moment. I believe in his imminent return. And so that's why it's so important to remember the past, because each person is going to give an account to God. And so whether we forget the past now, we're going to be forced to remember it when we all stand before God and give an account for our life. So all the better to live with good memory now and be reconciled to one another and be at peace with yourself, with others, and with God. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Bye.